is really like a marriage. You know, you have this significant other, this soulmate that you love and you pour your whole heart and soul into. And when it's just you and the music, it's powerful and it's beautiful and it's free and it's spiritual. It's an experience that it's hard to put into words. To really feel that emotion and channel it in that moment, because then people feel that with you. I always imagine my most centered music is something that you feel like you can ride on a bike ride in a very sort of calm, serene bike ride, I guess.
What sets Holly apart from other singers that I've played with is, one, her amazing technical ability and her amazing sense of pitch. She really uses her voice as an instrument and is always striving to get better and better.
I was very intrigued by Holly. I saw her perform at the Nash Jazz venue downtown in downtown Phoenix, and was struck immediately by her creativity and her innovative ways of approaching her music. Holly took extra steps with what she's doing. She's applying not only her jazz background, but very creative thinking when it comes to the technology of how music is out there right now. Her harmonizing the technique that she uses to deliver her music is very, very interesting.
I'm so lonely, that's okay. I shaved my head, and I'm not saying it's just maybe I'm to blame for all I've heard, and I'm not sure. I'm so ecstatic, I can't wait to meet you there, but I don't care. I'm so horny, that's okay. My will is good.
I remember writing songs when I was like 4 years old, and I would be sitting in the living room just singing to myself, making up stuff that made no sense. No one likes me, everybody hates me, I just don't understand. I'm a beautiful woman, never been crossed, yeah. I don't understand, I don't understand. It's like this super like bluesy, rocky thing. That's the things you write when you're 6. But gosh, or like by the time I was 14, songwriting was all about the ex-boyfriends and the boys that I wanted to be with, that took advantage of my care and my heart. I went to college to study opera, and you know, opera is very much a liberated vocal technique, very bombastic, very emotive and dramatic, and you know, it's a certain kind of personality to share that kind of part of yourself with people, and I wasn't there. I was very much more in this sort of subdued, intimate, nuanced approach that jazz was very flattering towards. I just dropped out of the opera program and just threw myself into a bunch of jazz courses and really invested more in the choir aspect.
You've got to have the feeling and you've got to have the passion to feel right, but also that passion has motivated her. The hours she puts in composition and practicing her craft, at singing on tape to listen to herself and go, okay, is this going where I want it to go? And yet the best part is every time I've ever worked with her or heard her, it's been different. She knows how to make the moment work.
I definitely have Holly's voice in mind and her technical ability when I'm writing. I'm thinking, oh, this is something that Holly can do. And having a group like House of Stairs to write for allows you to be like, oh, I know that she can do this. I know that Steven can play this. So I'll write something that maybe challenges them, you know, while challenging myself.
I can't sleep, I've no peace, just midnight cravings for sweet release. No compass to stay north, no
I think that Holly is innovative, creative, and has a simpatico delivery. It's a very sincere approach to music.
Holly's style. I would describe Holly's style as being very, very present and very connected and very thoughtful. I mean, everything she does, every note that she sings is there because it's precisely the note that she intended to sing. There's nothing is haphazard. The emotion that she gives to every word is the emotion that she decided to put there. And she's really taking a lot of thought and a lot of time to communicate with the audience rather than just, throwing it out there.
I find that songwriting is a really good outlet to sing the things that I otherwise would feel inhibited from actually saying out loud. And it also really allows me to kind of go on a trip with my feelings and my emotions and to really look at them as I never had before. You can kind of explore a reality that you never had, or talk about topics that are very uncomfortable. I have a song called Zoloft, and I wrote it about my experience with that whole thing of spending a month laying on a couch, not caring about life, being so depressed, being, entirely drenched in this cloud cover of sort of a self-loathing, and then having that transition into a prescription that felt even worse because I didn't feel anymore. And I remember writing the lyrics and singing them, and every time I sing the chorus, I feel kind of exposed and kind of worried. Like, are people going to think I'm just this emo, melodramatic person? Because literally I'm saying I want to feel again, and that's all I'm saying in my chorus. So they're going to be like, gosh, this girl needs to man, she's just drama, And every time I sing it, people come up and they're like, we love that Zoloft song, and we really relate to it. And it's just so surprising, like, oh my gosh, okay, this is not just me being 17 years old and being, reactive, and it's more mindful and more contemplative, but also being real and accepting humanity and accepting blemishes and accepting that everyone's going through a transition.
People say, how's it feel playing behind Holly Pyle? I've never played behind Holly Pyle. If somebody else was taking a solo and she wasn't actively involved, she was listening. She was still in the moment. She was supporting the band, and she was listening so that as she came back up, she was still in the moment, not just suddenly leaping in.
We wrote a song called Stop Sign, where the song starts as very simple. The drummer actually came up with this chord progression, and we were playing with it, and it's like, I think I could write about this topic. And then once the topic started being written about, it was like, well, what's next? I was like, well, it needs to do this. And then it needs to do this. And then the band would be like, okay. And they would have these ideas that would go with it. And it's an incredible song. And we had no idea that it was this tiny little baby was going to foster into this very elaborate work. But it was a good thing. It wasn't a bad thing. It was very welcome that way.
How many drops does it take to dilute the signs that say stop to the borders, unraveling by a thread that say stop to a storyline disappearing under tears of imagination? the neck, as wily bones give life to a current that forges love and eyes, a hot prize. But my volition never breathed in this night.
She's been able to utilize our looping station. She can make herself sound like a choir, way bigger than her voice alone.
Spinning a blur of shapeless signs, free from the ceilings, color rises to its highest beam. How loose and the eyes that the whirling pools of light.
I think we're finding more and more ways to incorporate her loops into the band so that it's a part of the whole experience. And I think that's really cool.
She's doing 3 different tasks at once. She is composing, she is singing, and she is running the loop machine. The running of the loop machine, she has explained to me several times, and I can't follow it. And she's doing it live. She is pulling in a track, putting out a track, splitting a track. She's dropping a track an octave, and she's doing all of this while she is adding the vocal tracks.
Lost light return home where love seeks. Lost light return home where love seeks. Lost light return home where love seeks. Lost light return home.